Welcome back to markets today. It was a positive day in the markets because the Sensex and the Nifty at least ended in the green. The Nifty about almost 1/3% higher, and the Midcaps as well put on about 0.2%. The advanced declines were not bad. 7 stocks in the green for 6 in the red. But for the contract as a whole, the Sensex and the Nifty have lost 1%, and the high momentum stocks, what you call Nifty Junior, has ended actually with almost 4% in terms of losses. The Nifty Junior, that is, the momentum boys. One could still say that this is not a bad ending because at one point in time, in this contract, in the September contract, we saw the Nifty going down to almost that 7,500 mark. So thank God for small mercies. Perhaps the uneventful finish today is also because we are getting into a long weekend, and the market may want to go with lighter positions to face the uncertainties of these 3 days. All right, let's get you some technical perspective on that note. As always, Sudarshan Sukhani is joining us. Sudarshan, an expiry day is always a tough day to understand. Tell us what you made of the day and what you would expect on Monday.
Good evening. Well, the FNO settlement has come to an end today, and the new series starts on Monday, tomorrow being a holiday. The view for the markets remains mildly bearish. If you are taking a positional trade until 8,050 is not taken away, I would be taking positional trades only on the short side. That's one part of the view. But it's also important to understand that short-term trading can be done on both sides, which means we could be buyers if there are short-term upswings. And it does appear that on Monday, if markets remain stable, there could be a sense that the markets could be in a buy mode, at least till the Nifty touches 8,050 or whereabouts. So there are two different undercurrents. The undercurrent for October as a series is to look for lower levels, and just for Monday is to look for buying if markets are stable.
All right, Sudarshan, thank you so much for that view. Let's move on to some more stock-specific action now. OBEROI Realty gained over 4% in trade after the management told CNBC TV 18 that they were planning to launch a premium project in Mumbai, that's in Borivali, before Dussehra. Sonia Shenoy has more details on this one. Sonia.
For the month as a whole, the stock has been up almost about 15-odd%. The big positive impending trigger for OBEROI Realty is the launch of the Borivali project, and now we have some more details on the exact timeline of the launch. Sources from OBEROI Realty told CNBC TV 18 that they will launch the Borivali project before Dussehra. So they are looking at a launch between the 15th and the 20th of October. Now they're looking to launch about 1.6 to 1.8 million square feet in the first tranche, and this will be at a price of 13,000 to 14,000 rupees per square foot. They're hoping to sell about 8 to 9 lakh square feet in the first tranche itself, and this will help them garner about 1,500 to 1,800 crores into their kitty. Now, the total developable potential of this entire project is about 5.4 to 5.5 million square feet.
Thanks a lot for that, Sonia. And with that news break, you succeeded in pushing up the stock price, of course. Then a number of other stocks were also buzzing in trade today. HCC, Hindustan Construction, rallied nearly 2% after bagging an order worth 1,783 crore from the National Highway Authority, or NHAI. Let's listen to what the management had to say.
Including this order, now we have almost touched 15,000 crore worth of order booking, and we have still close to about 2,000 crore worth of order where we are L1 and waiting for the award of the order to us to start the work. And beside this, we have in pipeline some tenders, some bids which we have done of close to about 7,000 to 8,000 crore. So hopefully we'll end up this year with little better order booking as compared to the previous years.
And staying with stocks on the move today, Concord lost in trade. It ended down almost 3% after the management cut the FY16 volume growth guidance from 9 to 10% to 7.5 to 8%.
In the first quarter, we faced certain critical constraints on the critical sectors. JN Port was not functional for a long time, third terminal. Then we had problem in Mundra. We had problem in Pipavav. And still the things are not very clear. So we don't think we'll be able to maintain 9% plus, but I think 7.5 to 8 is still a possibility. We are still bullish about it and working on that.
Okay. A bunch of pharma stocks were also in focus today. Ekta Batra is joining us to tell us what kept that space buzzing. Ekta.
Well, we had a cluster of pharmaceutical stocks that were in focus today. I'll start with Lupin, which in fact saw its second upgrade, which came in from brokerages this week. Credit Suisse, for example, upgraded the stock to outperform from neutral and a target price hike by 27% to 2,250 rupees today. They see an upside potential from the diabetes drug Fortimet and Lumetza generics, which appears quite high. Remember, Lupin has taken a 200% price hike in this particular diabetes drug Fortimet, and according to Credit Suisse, they expect the FY17 estimated EPS to be strong with a growth of around 70%. Remember, Nomura also upgraded the stock earlier this week, and they upgraded to buy with a target price of 2,149 rupees. The other stock which was in focus on account of a brokerage upgrade from the pharma space was Strides Arcolab. Jefferies initiated coverage with a buy and a target price of 1,500 rupees. According to them, they see 320 basis points in terms of margin improvement in the next 3 years, which will be driven by factors such as backward integration and product mix. Moving to a couple of smaller stocks from the pharma space, Elder Pharma was in focus and saw a strong spike today. This was on news last evening, which was a board meet release that they are going to consider proposal of sale of step-down subsidiaries of their overseas arms on September 28th. That is on Monday. Remember, on Friday, September 11th, we had statements from Elder Pharma saying that they are in talks with lenders with regards to a restructuring plan. In terms of overseas arms, maybe the ones that could be in focus could be UK-based Nutra Health, Elder Biomeda in Bulgaria, or a JV in Nepal. Elder Pharma has been suffering from a financial crunch. They did not even release their June 30th numbers, and most recently there were reports of them selling factories or considering factories a sale in Maharashtra and as well as Uttarakhand, as well as the CFO had resigned recently as well.
All right, Ekta, thank you so much for that. Now, some news from the IT space. Global IT services giant Accenture has reported its quarterly earnings. This is quite important because the numbers give a glimpse into the global tech demand scenario and will have a rub-off effect on India's top-rung IT players as well. There were no fireworks from Accenture in the quarter gone by. Total income is down by over 7% on a sequential basis. Revenue has risen just marginally by over 1%. Margins have shrunk from 32.5% to 31.7%. The company is not very optimistic on the days ahead either. It expects revenues to take a hit. In fact, for the next 3 months, Accenture expects a negative impact of 8.5% on revenue on account of currency. It expects that impact to play out throughout the year, which is why the overall revenue guidance for the full year stands at just 5 to 8%.
Well, with that, we'll have to wrap up this edition of Markets Today.
Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.